Hi all, welcome to another Chess24 Banter Blitz. Let's have a look at the discount code, the voucher code, Kings plural Crusher. You can get a whopping 15% off with this voucher code. So if you go to chess24/premium, so you can challenge me and other streamers. So that's very, very exciting. Okay, so let's go to the challenges. You just challenged like 15 minutes before, up to 30 minutes before sometimes. It goes into our challenge list. Then we can pick off the challenges. Okay, let's see. The challenges today. First challenge, Duke Crusher. Okay. Hope audio and visual is okay. Let me know if it isn't. One elephant. Okay, good. We got a game. Knight c6. I'll try knight c6. So I'll try this Smyslov defense, I think, with g6. Yeah. Alright, so that's a very good idea to play for d4. And I think I'll take d5. So interesting situation. E takes, knight takes, check, bishop e6. Let's say knight g5. It could be quite dangerous. I castle, takes, rook takes. I might have here. Well, I'm hoping I have some play there. Okay, is that actually going to happen though? Okay, can I take with the knight to avoid structural damage? Okay, I don't like the tempo game knight c3 particularly. So maybe like this temporary pawn sack. Instead, my king's in the center. I'm a bit concerned about knight c3 pushing for d5 later. I'm hoping this approach is interesting. Okay, might not be that interesting. Could I play for g5, g4 to try and put pressure on d4 here? This is a crazy way of playing. There's h3, huh? Right. How do I undermine that knight now? Queen f6, queen d6. There's knight c4. I think I'll go with a6 to start off with. There's potentially on f7 as well. This might not be that fun, this position. Can I get my queen to over here somewhere? Although c7's a bit of a problem. How would I sort out the c7 problem? I wonder. Okay. King h7. Looks a bit dangerous. Okay. Knight g6. This all looks a bit dangerous. Maybe d6. There's. Oh no. Queen d6. I could try queen d6, I guess. This looks troublesome. wonder, can I play rook d8? If he's going for knight c5, okay, is that really on b7? I guess it is. b6. Isn't that b5 here? That looks like... Does that move? Alright, was that a mistake? I don't know. This looks dangerous. Okay, I'll stop d5. If I have rook d8, that looks good. Rook d8. Rook d8 and knight f5. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake. I'm not sure if that was a piece sack or a positional sacrifice of some sort. I'm going to try and grab this pawn. Actually, that stops knight e7 as well. Try and grab this pawn. So actually d5 takes. There's no knight e7 picking up the bishop now. Although I've got to think about that. If I try and hit this pawn here, which one? I wonder. Maybe the other one. No, that loses the exchange. Hold on. Can I take out this knight if I play bishop d5? Oh, decisions. I could do this. Okay, wins the exchange. There's no rook c8. That's an interesting way to play it. I'm hoping it's not completely dumb. There's bishop g5, rook e8. I'm going to play bishop e6. It's too... yeah, I gave up for that pawn. I don't know if that was a wise decision actually now. Alright, let's defend against rook e8. Hit a2. I mean d4 is hit as well, because the rook e8 would be a problem. If I could take here, then bishop b3. Okay, taking out this centre pawn surely is an idea. Taking on a2 looks good. I'm just wondering, bishop e5, is that a load of hassle? Bishop e5. I can't really do anything about that, can I? Let's take her. It seems I should be okay here. Oh, that's a bit of a pain, though. Okay, that's a bit of a pain. Getting some pawns. Can I bring my king up? Right. So this is okay. Can I fork to get a pawn back before losing all my pawns? This one. Okay, so how to stop this pawn? So there's some pawn issues. Can I bring my pawn up at some point? Try and get this pawn. So he's pinning that. Oh, it's pre-move time. Uh-oh. Hang on. Oof. It's always tough. It's always a really tough game. Okay, well played. I was scared of the opening actually, because I think that's the right way to play it. I think that's a really good way to play it. Not to give me my not to give my comfortable strategy at all. Although maybe I did the right. It says as though this is equal here. I don't know if this is. I was wondering if I took here, if knight c3. Yeah, look, it looks as though knight c3 d4. This looks like a big advantage. If I played this, it looks as though I'm getting, well, technically mashed. Yeah, so I think the pawn sack might have been actually the way to go. Knight e7 is the recommendation here actually. I just thought g5, g4. Okay. Right, that looks like a mistake for b5. So, yeah, white's better here. Yeah, white's better here. Just have free bishop d2. So that does look like a little mistake. But this pawn looked dangerous. I don't know if what I played was really controversial. I mean, it does give some of the advantage back, but I thought that was weird to give the pawn out back. So bishop e6, and I managed to lose my pawns. Yeah, it's going to equal. Oh well, dramatic. Okay. Chess learner now. Okay, e5. Oh. Okay, so let's try this. Trying to get the comfortable strategy going. I don't know if that's going to happen. That was a really critical test, I think. Oh, not again. Alright, with d3 instead of d4. I thought that was a really critical test, that previous game. Of this thing. I mean, it clearly was. If I have to do a temporary pawn sack just to avoid being annihilated, it's not good, is it? But here, if I get a sort of comfortable strategy of rolling pawns forward on the king side, I'll be happy. So I'll just put the king over here, play for f5 later. I think I feel less hassled already from this opening because of the d3. The extra quiet, whatever. Extra quiet d3. So the basic plan: knight here to keep the f pawn mobile. Then I have to unpin it with castling and king h7, and then I'm ready for f5. Not so secret recipe used recently. Someone on Twitter appreciated this Smyslov thing. I noticed a tweet from someone on Twitter about, yeah. I said I was going to change my openings totally, but I think, yeah, maybe a little bit of variety, but let's not go overboard. So f5, f4. Although I was looking at some interesting Smith-Morra Gambit games by Eswin yesterday with someone I'm coaching, and yeah, that's always fun for Blitz, I think. Smith-Morra Gambit. So it might not be English openings all the time today. Might be some E4 action, just to try and get the Smith-Morra Gambit. So okay, I'm hitting the bishop here, and there's the F3 move, and if FG, there's knight F3 winning in exchange. This looks very comfortable now. FG, knight F3. Okay, so that defends for the moment. Does it not? Does it? I played C5, knight B5. I wonder. It's worth fragmenting the pawns potentially. I'll go with the I'll go with the fragmenting of the pawns. I guess C5 and knight F3 if there isn't King G2. If there is King G2, maybe Queen D7, Queen H3, Queen D7. Ah, it's Bishop E6 or Knight E6. Maybe Queen F6 then, looking at F2 instead. Yeah, that's probably the way to go. So let's imagine King takes and then Queen F6. Alright, Queen F6 here. So I'm on F2. At least. So Bishop G4, C5, C5 and Bishop G4. Alright, can I take that? Now there is the sneaky Bishop B1 here. Better avoid that. That is sneaky, sneaky. Okay, I'm going to threaten Rook E6 for Queen F2 now. So the threat, I believe, is Rook takes E6, Queen F2. Okay, I believe this was the threat. Alright, thanks for the game. Yeah, that looks as though it was working. Okay. Yeah, interesting one. Interesting game. Don Williams. I'll stick with English for the moment. I think there will be an E4 later. There will be. This line. Dangerous. I'm not sure I like this line actually. I'm not sure I like it. This helps the bishop at least. I'm going to stop Bishop G4. I wonder if it's worth it to stop Bishop G4. I mean, I guess because E5 looks a bit vulnerable. There isn't a Greek gift as that if black castles. Bishop takes knight G5. Right. I'll do a little waiting move, just in case. Mind you, there's always Queen D3, G6 for Bishop F5 to be concerned about. That is with a perk of Bishop F5 later. Alright, I can protect the pawn at the moment. I'll use the queen. Yeah, I'm not going to put it on d3 at the moment. I could set a trap. Not really. I was just thinking the bishop. It can go this way. It doesn't have to go to b6. I was just thinking, oh. Well, can I fling my pawns forward for a queenside attack with b5 in mind? With a4, b5 in mind? Is that too... Am I actually going to... I'm wondering if I'm actually going to open lines with this or not. Anyway, f6, it seems e takes and then queen takes. Ah, okay. Okay, knight's coming to c4. I get this full pawn, which I like, usually. The old full pawns. Now, is it a bit closed off? Can I put the bishop over here? This knight is, yeah, it's an interesting idea, this knight on c4. So I wonder, b5, c5, knight c6. This looks interesting, b5 actually, all of a sudden. b5 looks a little bit fast. I need that. Trying to celebrate the form pawn on a6. It is kind of near the king, so I would say it's a bit of a thorny pawn. So, can I keep this closed or not? If I played h4, is that a way of keeping it closed? Or do I play knight c6 and g3? That looks a bit weird. What about just taking and then f3? That looks scary. Okay, scary decisions. What looks the least scariest? I wonder if it's h4. I don't know. Keep things closed with HG. I need to do something. Maybe HG. I'm not convinced. I might have to be playing defensively a bit. I wasn't convinced by, in particular, g3 hamming in the bishop, potentially losing e5. I wasn't convinced by h4 there, because maybe g3 anyway from black. Okay, so I get this. Oh, there's rook f2 as a facility here. And then king h1 to gain a tempo. The bishop would have to move. So maybe it's not that quick. Bishop h4. I hope it's not that quick. So rook f2, king h1. Rook f2, king h1. Oh, there's also bishop f5 defensively just to take out that bishop. I mean, that's interesting. But I think rook f2 here. Okay. So I can play king h1 next. This gives rise to rook g1. Okay, I'll play this. Oh, what about taking here now? Alright, yeah. That's an exchange. Okay. That's a good point. Let's actually protect this centre pawn. I meant to protect the centre pawn. Okay. Okay. No panic. No, not yet. I think. I thought rook e1, but okay. King h1. It's the exchange, but I've still got a nice. I hope I've got a nice position. I don't know. It's getting a bit scary now. Is it? How scary is this? exactly. Bishop goes back to bishop e6. Is that f4, f5? Try and roll these pawns forward. There should be some compensation with e6 hitting the queen. I mean, the knight entrenched on c6 looks like something Leela Chess would do, sack in exchange for a knight and a pawn pawn. Sometimes. Okay, so queen going back. Right, I can either take that rook or kick it. I think f5 looks really tempting. Although there's rook g5. I wonder if I should just take it. The thing is, rook g5, yeah. Okay, I don't know. I feel greedy. Taking that, okay. Okay, this goes for e7 though. e7. There's still f5 hitting the queen. What am I thinking? Okay, I'm thinking e7 maybe, and f5. e7 and f5. Okay, now g4, queen e4. If I have this without the check, so I can play f5. If I play f5, there's f6. Well, there's that nice pin anyway. It's liberating the bishop. Oh. Alright. Can I hold this friend queen e6? Can I get the queens off or something? Alright, getting queen here for queen b8 is dangerous. Unless I'm giving loads of checks, am I? Am I? I don't think there's that many checks. Okay. Alright, thanks for the game. Dangerous player there. Thanks. Goggin Paul. So, as promised, e4. e4. Now, I had a club game during the week, which I'm embarrassed by the opening. I had to grovel to the endgame and managed to win the endgame. But he tricked me. Alright, this looks like a reasonable advantage, potentially, because of the misplaced king. Can't think queenside luxury. Oh, really? Okay, okay. Knight g5 looks as though it's hitting f7, e6. It looks as though that might be something interesting here, because I can play f3 anyway to support e4. The knight goes back, I guess. Oh, no, I missed the trick. I was thinking bishop c4. Okay, missed the trick there. Oh well. I don't want to get doubled over here, I think. I think I'm going to play knight f2. Oh, so knight f2. Okay, can I put some pressure on here or not? Really, that knight's not really doing. Why don't I just take this pawn? That pawn. Yeah, I didn't really think about that pawn, but having a look now, it looks as though that pawn's hanging. I should really do something like take that pawn. I think it's safe to take it. Okay. Unless it's an amazing positional pawn sacrifice, of course. I should take that pawn. Yeah, I was just concerned about this knight and this thing. That's very easy to think defensively when, I mean, if you like look at the opponent, what they're threatening, it's easy to play defensively. That's one danger of prioritizing, look at the opponent's threat. Okay, but here I think I will take this pawn. So this leads to bishop g5, which threatens bishop takes f6 because that's pinned. So it's actually here there's bishop g7 anyway for bishop takes f6. Okay, I'm finally seeing some tactics. Bishop takes f6. I think just maybe knight g4. Bishop b5. It's difficult to move this knight here without the h-pawn. So bishop b5, double the rooks. I think that'll be good. Just to double the rooks. Okay, I guess there's c4 on the cards to hit the bishop. This way, okay, I can get time to double. Yeah, this looks good, doubling. Okay, right, double. Yeah, it looks as though there's too much pressure on d7 here. Looks as though I'm snapping off d7. Okay, I'll take d7. So rook d8, it looks very difficult to stop. Maybe rook d5, it looks very difficult to stop. Rook d5, rook e7 check, then take the rook. Rook e7, then take, yeah. Okay, so I'll play this check, and take, yeah. I can take this one. Okay, I'll take this one. Alright, trying to avoid the stalemates now, which is easy to happen in especially bullet or blitz. It's trying to avoid the stalemates. Okay, check, and then there's that mate because I'm covering f7. Alright, thanks for the game, Gorgian. Okay, Chem chess. Maybe like a mix of c4 and e4 actually. Somehow I feel more relaxed sometimes thanks c4. I think it's the guarantee of a reasonable position. Well, most of the time, a reasonable position. I don't know. Alright, so okay, so I'll try and stop knight b4. Or do I play d3? Knight b4, e4. Maybe that's reasonable. Yeah, I've seen this before. This is... I'm not sure this is great for me. Is there some pawn sack for knight b4? I don't know if it's actually this exact position. Alright, anyway. I'll stop this d5 and knight b4 business soon. a3, e4, okay, f4, e4, f4, Botvinnik kind of system. Bishop e3, h3, bishop e3, f4, springs to mind. As a natural sort of moves, h3, bishop e3, f4. They're the ones that spring to mind for f5. I think, oh, okay, I can do this now to get some pawn mobility here, because by taking the, I think I've got a little bit extra pawn mobility, except knight g4 to e3. I'll stop knight g4. So I want f4, f5, knight f4 probably now. g4, that sort of thing. Downside is the dark squares being a bit compromised. Say knight h7, bishop g5. That's something to look out for. Grabbing space. So f4, f5, knight f4. Well, actually, it really depends where he castles as well. He or she castles. So queen side. Let's see. Queen side or king side? King side f4. Ah, okay. Cat's meowing. Okay. Right. Alright. A bit concerned. Maybe I'll answer that with f5. 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 Because g4, I think knight g4. Does it actually matter? Knight g4. I'm not really sure. I'm going to go with this. So hg, knight takes g3. It looks as though I'm covering against knight h5, at least. Knight h5 is stopped. Can I play for b4 here? Alright, there could be an assault on my h3 coming up. Try and get some queenside action quick. Let's see. The rooks could double. I could play rook h1. Okay, I'll play rook h1 immediately. Problem with this diagonal, I'm opening up that bishop for d6 and the queen on that diagonal. Wonder if I can do better. Just bishop f4 here before bc. Rook b1. I think I need to gear up for this because I'm opening up the opponent's pieces. Okay, I'll take that. Support this. Although there is now g6. Yeah. There's g6. Okay, trying to focus on h3. So I wonder, g6, how am I handling this? fg. Yeah, it looks dangerous. Dangerous. Can I do this or not? Is there g5? Oh, there's g5. Okay. Panic. No, panic. No panic. No panic. Not yet. Queen g. Oh crikey. bc. So, g5. There's bishop e5. There's g4. There's bishop h8. bc. Now. Try this BC now. Maybe queen g3, answering g5 with bishop e5, trying to keep control of the diagonal. So queen g3, g5, bishop e5, g4, hg, rook h1, rook h1. That's fine, I think. There is bishop d6 here. Let's try to win a pawn. Play for queen g3 after. I've got vulnerable pawns in a few places actually. This is a bit grovelly for h3. I've got a free rook for rook b1 to b5 though. Alright, so rook b1. I guess. There's, I don't know if g4 is really. I can answer with h4 if the rook was on b5. Hang on. No, you take this one. I'll take that one. I'll take that one. Take this one. Take that one. No, I think rook b5 is fine. g4, I take that one. I was thinking just the idea of rook b5 was rook c5. Try and coordinate with the queen. Okay, a3 is dropping. Rook b5, queen a3. Oh, I don't want my queen side falling to bits. Well, that's c5 here. There's no queen c5 then, because of rook c1 for the moment. Well, I thought there wasn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Looks good. Alright, thanks for the game. That was exciting. I was on the defensive there. Okay. Okay. I'll try e4 here. I hope this is not going to be too bad. E4. Quiet system, maybe. So cooled spring. Quite a fast mover. I think I will play this here. King h2 or knight h2 or knight f1. Problem with knight f1, d takes knight c5. What do I do about e4? There's also this bishop a6 to worry about. Can I play c4 trying to get my opponent? Is c4 terrible? Oh, I'm stuck already. Okay, I'm stuck already. Knight h4 to f5. What about this? That looks as though if the bishop's going on that, it's neglecting that diagonal bit. Maybe f5 is more sensitive than usual. Okay, maybe that's something. That's good. Weaknesses to play on. Potentially. Is c4 here far too weakening? I'll try it. Maybe idea b3 or knight f1 later. Knight f1 to e3 to g4. I'm giving up. That c5 looks good for black though. There's also knight b3 potentially. If the knight moves here, there's knight b3 after. I do wonder if knight f1 to e3 is actually plausible, or is it not? Okay, knight f1 to e3 is a idea, but is there any other idea? There's definitely no f4 or g4. These look terrible. b3 looks as though that's a target to knight c5. So I think I've got quite limited plans here. Knight f1 to e3 looks the best of the bunch. Knight b3 to d4 bounces to d4 though on knight c5. Okay, yeah, this knight c5. Okay, close the center. What about knight b3 instead? I don't know if that's okay. Knight b3 instead, because this knight c5 looks pretty strong actually. Don't know about b5 if that's giving me trouble. b5. If I could stop b5 maybe, or discourage it with bishop d2 first before doing anything else. Now that the centre's closed, I would say f4 is more likely in the future now that the centre's been closed. Tension's been reduced in the centre. So I think bishop d2 would be keeping an eye on b5 a bit and sort of rearrange the pieces for a slow f4. And if I play for a slow f4, then f5. Immediately. That's annoying. I don't want all the tactical hassle, really, coming my way. Can I try and blockade on d3? Or is this going to be really bad? I can still b-file, try and blockade. Although he's first with knight c5. Okay. Rook b1, knight d3. Nope. That's definitely happening. Okay, e4 is that. I hope that's not collapsing. e4. I guess d3 is happening now. This could be annoying. I'm on b4. Does he take time to protect that? Why? Okay. Is that just on? What's the threat here? What's the threat? Why can't I take on b4? I have interest. Because that could be useful for knight d3. I'll take on b4. Okay, is he pushing through with... I'll just protect the queen. I'm wondering if he's pushing through with d3 or something. Well, there's knight d3 here. If rook b3, queen takes c5. There's a knight d3 here. This looks like a useful tactic. Rook b3, queen takes c5. Oh, there's knight b7. Still, I think this is good news generally. But how? If I take and then rook b1, probably take. Well, there's knight c5. I think I'll take and then knight c5. This is a nice square because it's protecting b3, hitting a6. Can I not just use the passed pawn? Take this passed pawn. There's knight b7 coming up. Okay, I can do this as well. There's a few things to do. On knight b7, knight a6 anyway. Okay, there's no g5, knight f5. Okay, I've got that protected. Knight b7, knight a6 to c7. So why not just do this for a moment? There is g5. Okay, g5. Let's give f5 for the knight. So g5, f, knight f5. Knight b. Okay. Knight d7. Or just knight d3 here. Knight d3. That looks nice. Not ready to roll yet. Okay, let's just reinforce. We'll actually do this to get the knight into the game. Ah. Oh, okay. B3's now loose. This way. So I'm not pinning myself. Okay. Well, I wanted to get the knight in the game. And there's knight c4 and stuff. Okay, a7. That's knight c5. Knight d3. Nope. I think it's pre-move time anyway. Oh, blimey. Oh, blimey. Okay. Yeah, I lost control totally there because I realized I was losing all my pawns at one point. B3, E4. I slipped up somewhere. I was thinking F3. This doesn't look good. F3. When it supports E4, it didn't look good visually. But it was needed. It was needed, definitely needed. My pieces were getting overloaded, supporting B3, E4. Yeah, that was giving back all the pawns there. Okay. Let's try E4. Now, Smith Morra, I get to play with Smith Morra. Okay, I was looking at some Esserman games yesterday. So Mark Esserman, who's written the book Mayhem in the Morra, and his actual games on ChessGames.com are also pretty wonderful and dynamic. He sometimes does speculative, well, it seems speculative, knight sack on d5 for no immediate concrete stuff. It's just hemming in opponent's pieces, stopping opponent castling. So it's very, very dynamic game examples at chessgames.com. I checked out yesterday. There's someone's collection. I don't know if you do a Google search, just Google it. Just Smith Morra collection. You get some interesting collections. But there's one with about 5 different Esserman games, which are pretty good. I thought pretty good indeed. Some of them in the book, but I'm kind of lazy to get the book out. It's got a book somewhere. It's easier to play them on the computer. So, okay. I think there I played bishop g5 instead of bishop e3. H3 then, to stop bishop g4. There was one example game where he played knight d5, takes, and knight e5, and then d6, and then bishop c5. But clearly, bishop was an e3 in that game. But that was an interesting game example with knight d5 being played. So here, okay, bishop b3. Looks really kind of poxy. Knight d5, I'm nearly losing a piece. Probably am losing a piece. This doesn't look entirely great at the moment. Let's keep the bishop here. Okay, there's also, I mean, there's bishop c4 on the cards potentially. This could be nasty, this square. So what have I got to do here? Maybe he takes a knight d5, open up this diagonal, given the bishop's here now. I think this diagonal takes a knight d5. I don't want f4 totally weak though. So back to the idea, knight d5, okay, here, knight d5, or e5, maybe e5 here, looks good, opening up the bishop. That doesn't look entirely bad now. Okay. So queen d5, there's g6 for bishop f5, but do I play knight d5 after? Queen d2 might be provoking g5 for queen d3 without g6 clearly. Why don't I play queen d2? If d4, there's knight e4. Bishop b4, queen f4. Yeah, it looks as though this f pawn is a little bit lucrative. Yeah, I think I'm going to encourage g5. Because there's queen d3. It makes queen d3 a lot more powerful. So if I get this pawn, well, I think that's good news getting that pawn. So yeah, g5, queen d3, f6, really? f6, ef, rook f6. Well, at least there's at least bishop takes h7 there, king takes, knight g5 check, and then knight takes e6. So f6, ef, rook f6 runs into, it seems, bishop takes h7 for knight g5 check, and then taking on e6. So f6, ef, bishop f6 is rook e6. d4, I think knight, well actually I can just play queen takes f4. Can I? Queen takes f4 here. Unless he's doing some weird queen sack. Actually, because there's bishop b4 round the corner here on knight e4, I think I'd rather do this. Using the pin, unless he's doing crazy queen sack to make me regret this. Okay. Now there is, I mean, I could just play knight takes d4. Can I? Oh, there's queen b2. Okay, there's knight e4, there's queen b2. Interesting about that is the knight's poised for knight f6. That looks super dangerous. I think I'm going to go with this. It looks super dangerous. Forget this centre pawn for a moment. Knight f6, form pawn instead. Queen b2, knight f6, gf, ef. Bishop f6, queen f6, the knight, the pawn's pinned to the queen on b2. So I'll still be playing probably knight d4 later. Swing a rook down round. So knight f6 looks dangerous here. I play it here. Looks as though, let's have a look at this for a moment. Knight f6 takes, bishop f8. Isn't there in that position check and queen h6. I think that's dangerous for black. I got the form pawn. Okay, so queen g5 has been stopped. Knight g5, h6, there's knight e6, takes f7. That looks, I mean, pretty dangerous. Knight g5. Yeah, I think knight g5 is pretty dangerous. Let's just check this again. h6. Okay, so I can take on h7 here. Well, it looks as though queen h4, for example, is pretty dangerous. Alright, thanks for the game. Yeah, something went wrong there after the opening. So the Smith-Morrow is quite a dangerous weapon. Someone was asking me about a line against the Sicilian, which is super popular. So maybe even for long games, the Smith-Morrow is okay. Because he did draw with Vichy Anand in one of the Gibraltar tournaments as well, Esserman. So, you know, if he can draw with Vichy, that's pretty good. With the Esserman. Not the Esserman, the opening. No, with the Smith-Morrow opening. Esserman with the Smith-Morrow against Vichy Anand. He drew once. So, okay, he didn't beat Vichy, but he's beaten a load of other grandmasters. It's a really cool opening. It was one of my favourites. I just got fed up of the early knight f6 lines. That put me off a bit. Okay, that really did put me off. Okay, 1 elephant, 2 elephants, 3 elephants, 4 elephants, 5 elephants, 6 elephants, 7 elephants, 8 elephants, 9 elephants, 10 elephants. Okay, I'm going to stop this, abort this, on to the next challenge. I'm not going to why did that decline button look so good? The dangerous, the super dangerous, the mighty Schelling Ford, the mighty. I've had this before with varying success, accepting the double pawns. Okay, it's got downsides, but as long as you're comfortable with the downsides to some extent, it's sometimes okay. F4, F5 is the treat I want to have. The perk of this whole thing is F4, F5 and the G file maybe. Knight G3. Is Knight G3 or, I mean, Knight G3 for Rook G1. I've had some games of Paul Georgia and Blitz with this very opening. Sometimes Paul restrains by C4 and had some nice positional games. But anyway. So here, I'm not that fast protecting E4, it seems. So can I play knight h5 and not worry about it? Just go for that g file. Rook b2 to g2 later. That looks like a nice rook transfer. And stops rook a2 from black as well. So I'm going to use this g file. Got this dark square bishop that he hasn't got. Try and celebrate this dark square bishop with something like bishop takes h6 soon. Queen g4. I want to take and then rook g2. I mean, it looks as though there's some compensation on the g file. Rook g1. e5 for bishop c6. That gives me bishop h6. Rook f5. I could calculate that a bit more. There's queen e5 check though. Queen e5 check. Bishop f3 and try and double the rooks. That might be a better bet. Bishop f3. Knight e4. Bishop e4. The rooks double. It's a tactic in its own right, doubling rooks in a way. Like pinning a piece. Does he doesn't really play g5. I play rook g5, bishop g5, cutting the king. I think it's, after queen g7 I play bishop h6, not to give up two rooks for the queen necessarily. Maybe it doesn't matter. Rook g7, bishop takes f3. He's going to get a lot of pieces for the queen. I think that should be my main concern. If I took on e4 first, then rook g7, so I've got bishop h6. Because if I play this, he's got this, hasn't he? What am I thinking? Hang on. Rook takes g7, bishop takes f3, leaves me in a bad way because queen takes f3, plays queen takes g7, winning a ton of pieces. So if I played bishop takes f3 instead, knight takes e4, rook takes g7. On queen g7 there's bishop h6. I guess he's got things like queen e5 check though, but that neglects f7. So I'm wondering, bishop e4, rook g7 looks as though that should be reasonable. Oh, there's rook a2 as well. And there's rook a2 as well, round the corner. And then rook e2, okay, rook g8, king e7. So is there anything stronger? There's bishop g5, hg, queen h to win that. Bishop g5, there's queen e5 check. King h1 instead for bishop g5. There's no rook a2 for the moment. King h1. I don't know if I just chickened out. That was too slow. There's no rook h4. Maybe I messed up there. I didn't want this queen e5 check. Now it's got rook h4. And there's queen f3. Alright, can throw in a check on g8 if he plays rook c1. If he plays that bishop h6, okay. Okay, what does he do? Is he playing rook h4 as check and then queen e2 check? I have king d7, there's queen e8 mates. Alright, is it rook h4 or rook c1? Rook c1, rook g1, g8, king e7, rook c1. Again, any rook h4, there's always queen e4, there's knight e4 as well though. Okay, okay. Is there anything better here? Rook f7, queen f7, bishop h6. Is that a threat? Bishop takes h6 here. Does he take here? Am I pre-moving now? Why do I want to pre-move? Okay, 30 seconds. He just takes the bishop, doesn't he? I think it's pre-move time. It's pre-move time. If I can pre-move without losing everything. Oh, okay. Oh, ow. Okay, close one at the end. I was trying to get into pre-move mode. I think he got there quicker. Okay. Okay. That's exciting. Oh, I don't want to analyze it. Too much for my brain to analyze. I don't know. There's going to be loads of too many variations there. Try and calm down now. Knight g3. We'll hold this. Let's hold this e5. I think h4 and bishop g5. h4. Alright, I can take this guy. I don't know if that's... I don't like losing the bishop though. Yeah, without the bishop, I don't like the position without the bishop necessarily. Okay, I've lost the light square bishop, so I should be good on the dark squares. If I remember some Leela games, dark square play should be celebratory, without losing e5 though. Let's try and not lose e5. There's one like d4, knight h5, queen g4. Ah. Yeah, it doesn't seem that bad for black, unfortunately. Although knight g5, hang on, knight g5? If I keep this bishop locked in somehow, okay, do I do this, something, queen h5, h6, queen g4, it's knight e5, h6, and kick the queen first away from e5. I'll just put this back. I'm going back. What about knight d4? Knight d4. And knight. Oh, I think the dark square play with queen e3 and f4. Okay, so yeah, this b4 takes queen b4. Is it possible to play rook c7 now? Is it rook c8? Takes. There's no back row mate with the queen on. Yes, no, there's knight f1. There's knight f1, and there's bishop a6. Oh, queen. There's bishop a6. Okay, so b4 takes, queen b4, rook c7, rook c8, rook d7, check. There isn't a check. There's queen b1 check, knight f1, bishop a6. Forget the c file. Forget the c file. Just forget it. I'm just going to forget the c file. The knight's covering c2, that's a perk of the knight. It's blocking in the bishop. It's covering the c-file infiltration, which means, therefore, keep the rooks on. I think I'll play knight h5. Queen, maybe b3 though to stop any nuisance c4 use. b3 doesn't seem that much of a compromise on this side. To play b3, is it needed? There's queen h3. Let's see, what is this being asked about e6 for a moment? Do I really need b3? Is it okay? b3 just weakens c3. It's not really that clever if it's not needed. Okay, so is that, if I do this, okay, I think weakening c3 is the lesser evil because I don't want this pin. So queen g4, you know, knight f6. So knight f6 or knight f4. In fact, why not knight f4, trebling on e6? What does black do about that? Knight f4. Knight f4. king f7. That's a bit desperate. Oh, there's bishop f5. Okay, that loses a pawn now. Bishop f5. Bishop e4. Play f3 maybe. f3. Bishop c2. Rook d2. Bishop g6. Let's imagine bishop g6. Knight e6. Knight f takes e6. Let's move this. Okay, it's weak in my back row. Okay, I got it. There's rook c1 on the cards. Maybe. How dangerous is that? There's a tactical idea. Knight takes d5, queen c8 sometimes. But this rook c1 is a bit of a pain. If I played f3, there's rook c1. Okay, f3 gives my king some weakens that diagonal. h3, maybe h4 is the way to play it. The rook's come down, king h2. He's still got problems to face. I think I'll do this. So he's still faced with the e6 problem. Again, there's no bishop f5. This could be a form pawn anyway. So knight takes e6 or not. Right, f3. This f5 looks a bit dangerous. Oh, there is bishop f5. He's ended up losing d5. No. Right, queen g3. So d5 is on. Okay, I'm taking that guy. I think I've earned it without too much counterplay. I hope. This extra pawn now. Let's just push this extra pawn, or not. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. f4 is f4. I'm just worried about counterplay now. f4. There's queen h5 to consider. This a3 square. Can I use the a? Okay, I was going to use the a3 square. Thanks. b4, b5, queen a3. All right, thanks. Yeah, fun one. Fun one. Rocco. Okay. Okay, 1 elephant, 2 elephants, 3 elephants, 4 elephants, 5 elephants, 6 elephants, 7 elephants, 8 elephants, 9 elephants, 10 elephants. Okay, okay, let's abort that. On to the next challenge. Cricket fan. Let's go with e4, bit of variety, as I mentioned. Okay, 1 elephant, 2 elephants, 3 elephants. Okay, Smith-Morra, Gambit. This is a good reason to play e4, I think, just to try and get the Smith-Morra Gambit. Okay, that gives me a nice pawn center. So we've got an advanced French without the hassle, it seems, because the blocked in bishop, but the hassle is usually d4. It doesn't seem like much of a big deal here. D4. I didn't like knight B4, that's why I've wasted time with that move. My opponents encouraged me to do that as well with A6. Okay, so having this advanced French position. This looks as like this is really dangerous with Queen D3 and Knight G5. When I play the tango, I sometimes get this predicament myself with black. Okay, maybe that's not entirely bad then. Okay. I still could be threatening things like Rook G3 and then taking here. This G6 still seems a bit vulnerable, potentially. So Rook G3, Bishop takes E7. This is the time when Knight F5 is going to be a pain. So here we go. All right. If I shift the rook, there's Rook F3 and Queen G6. If the knight stays on G5, well, that's interesting, isn't it? If the knight stays on G5, I've given my opponent the full bishop pair here, full blast of the bishop pair, and he's not falling to bits or anything just yet. So okay, Rook C1 then, Rook C1 for a moment. King here, there's Bishop B5, that's nice. Because he was pinning my knight, so I can crawl over here now, it seems, without getting completely obliterated with Bishop B5. Yeah, because the queen there, yeah, Bishop B5 was pinning the queen and king and everything. This is, my rook is here and here, and this C file is a file, and this rook's there and that one's there. I'm just wondering if this C file, there's always Bishop C, is there always Bishop C6? Because of Knight E6. If I play Knight E2, try and get on this C file via C7, he would take a move or two to get this rook into the game, surely, or is it just one king move? Okay, he's on G5. He's not on G5. Not totally on G5. Knight E2. Knight E2. I've just allowed Bishop B5. What am I doing? I've just allowed Bishop B5. No, okay. E6 is neglected. Hold on. Okay. Okay, it's not that bad. Is it? Is Bishop B5 a real pain here? Okay, you could have played it maybe. So there's Queen G6 here. Isn't there? Now Bishop B5, Queen E6. Okay. Now, there's no Knight F4, there's Rook F4 at the moment. What about these rooks mentioned before, doubling into C7? There's F4 if I want my queen trapped in spectacular fashion, F4. My queen is kind of trapped, nearly, anyway. Queen E7, Bishop E8. So in the meantime, it would be useful to maybe double... he just locks my queen in. That's really unfriendly. Hang on a sec. F4, Queen E7, he's got the idea of Bishop E8, but there's always Rook C8 there. So can I not play F4 and Rook H3 here? So I play rook h3 here. I play rook c8 to bishop e8. I take it h5 pawn as another compensation for losing the exchange. If he is winning the exchange, that is, he is winning the exchange or not. I can move my queen out now. Why don't I just move my queen to c2? c2 looks reasonable. Do I really need g3 if he's going to play bishop b5? Or maybe I take on f8, getting rid of his more active rook first, then play g3. That's a bit of a poxy move though. g3. I have this in the rook c8 if he takes on e2. Rook c8. That's suave compared to Pox. Rook c8 threatened. Keeping an idea. Keeping eye on f5 blockade square. Surely I can just take that. No. Weakening d5 like the previous game. So knight g3, g6, rook c7 shuts everything in. Right, there is e6, isn't there? What is he doing to e6 exactly? Oh, there's rook h7. Hang on. I've just weakened a key pawn for nothing. Okay, there's e8 check, double check. Okay, maybe that pawn's immune because of e8 double check. King f7, e8 double check. Winning the rook. Alright, yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, fun games today. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, 1 fun, 10 boring. Well done to Schelling. The saga continues. So close. I was in pre-move mode. I don't understand. How can someone be quicker than me? I'm supposed to be good at bullet chess. Oh, disappointed by that. But anyway, other than that, I had some luck today as usual. Thanks for the fun games and everything. I enjoyed it anyway. So, okay, have a good rest of Sunday and see you next week. Thanks very much.